Good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday. And you know what happens on Tuesday? On Tuesday, I get the Neumann NDH 20. Wait a minute. I already got the Neumann NDH 20 and I already did the unboxing and it's been uploaded on YouTube. Hey, if you haven't seen that video, go see it. Look, so a subscriber of mine has begged me to get the NDH 20 for months, and I kept refusing to do it. And I finally did it because I found it at a negotiated price, a relatively good price. I got it, and I promised another subscriber that I would do the review process relatively quickly after I got the headphones. And that person asked me, can you just do the unboxing at least? And okay, so here we go. I got it. I did the unboxing. It's uploaded all in one day. It can be done, so I did it. Now, one thing I have to point out is that video, it does not show you how these headphones truly look in real life. There's no way. I tried to expose it in multiple ways, and no matter how I tried one thing or another, it just wasn't coming out right on that headphone. So I decided just to expose it normally to the best of my ability, and everything is as it is, as you see it in the video. The best place to go look at this headphone is, number one, in your hands, and number two, go to the Neumann website. They have renderings and photographs of this headphone, and you can see how these things actually look in real life. They look good. I thought they would be plasticky, they would look awful, but they're shiny and metallic, and the video doesn't do them any justice. None of the videos I've seen about these headphones online have done them justice. So if you don't like how it looks on the video, it's because you have to see it in real life. That being said, I have the Neumanns on my head. I've had them on my head for an hour, and I haven't plugged into the Audio GD NFB 1 amp. And it's been a while since I've used the 1 amp, but I like the clickety-clickety of the volume as I increase the volume with the 1 amp's remote, which, by the way, interestingly enough, the 1 amp has a remote, but the THX AAA from Monolith does not have a remote. I don't know. Just pointing that out to people. So, this video. It's about Tidal versus Spotify. I was able to successfully sign up for Tidal this morning. And when I was signing up, I had this dreaded feeling. Maybe it was anticipation, because then I could gripe about this. But I had this expectation, at least, that Tidal was going to screw me over. That as soon as I hit the trial button, put down my credit card information, it was going to tell me, hey, that's just standard. You only get 90 days free for standard. If you want the high-res stuff, you got to pay something. I expected that I was going to be required to pay $10 at least to get the high-res for the trial period. Well, you know what? I didn't have to. When signing up, it gave me the option to get either standard or high res. And given that those options, why would anybody pick standard? If high res is being offered to you for 90 days for free, obviously get the high res. So that's what I picked. Then I went into my account, made sure that nothing was charged on my credit card. There were no pending transactions. Went to my credit card, no pending transactions. And when I looked at my subscription status on Tidal, it said the renewal date is going to be in September, and it's going to be $20 at that point. So there you go. That's not bad at all, right? I mean, that was pain-free. It was easy. I downloaded the Tidal app for my Mac. It's on my Mac. I've got a test playlist right now loaded up on there, and we're going to compare back and forth between it and Spotify. And I have to say, I've cheated a little bit. I've already listened to a little bit of this, done my own minor little comparison by myself. We'll see. Just to prove that I do, in fact, have high res. No, get out of there. Here's what we've got. Is this Tidal? Yeah, this is Tidal. And how can you tell this is high res? Well, very easy. Tidal makes it very easy for you to know that, hey, you are listening to high res. If you come down here, look at it. Look at my mouse. You see the mouse? Bottom right says hi-fi. You click on that, and it gives you all the quality, streaming quality you can get. Theoretically, you can select it. And I'll tell you why that's helpful. Because if you have some... What's going on here? Minimize. Go away. If you have some issues with your streaming service, your your Comcast, your cable, whatever, you're not getting good quality download, then you can change the streaming. Just like with YouTube, you can change the quality of the video so you can actually watch the video. So this is nice to have. Now, normal and high is the standard definition that you get for the $10 a month. Hi-Fi, that's where it starts. This is what they were advertising at $20 a month on Tidal's website. You pay $20 a month, you get Hi-Fi lossless CD quality. That's what it is. But that's not what I'm getting. I'm getting Master. Master is authenticated files from mastering process, studio quality, unrivaled clarity and depth. That makes me think that Master is better than Hi-Fi, so that's what I selected. There you go. That's what I'm using. But if you still don't believe me, let's go to up here, Manage Subscription. I'm going to hit Manage Subscription. It's going to take me to my Tidal and my subscription status. I'm going to hit that, and you'll see my subscription status is Tidal Hi-Fi, lossless sound quality, $19.99 per month. I can downgrade at any time, but this is what I have. And my renewal will automatically renew on September 16th for $20. And that's when my credit card will be charged. Okay? So there we go. That's proof. I hope that's proof enough that this is high-res stuff. I've got it at high-res. I still haven't figured out, however, how to download these songs onto my computer. On Spotify, you can download songs onto your computer, on your MP3 player, on your phone for offline listening. And so theoretically, when it's downloaded, it's the highest quality you can get from Spotify. And I can't find any setting on Tidal on how to do this. Apparently, there might be a setting for Android and iOS, but there's no setting that I can find for the desktop app. And if that is the case, that's really weird. And I don't know why Tidal would do that, other than because they're afraid people are going to download the music and then find a way to rip them off and copy that music and then distribute the music on torrent sites or something like that. I don't know. But apparently, if that is the worry for Tidal, Spotify allows you to do that anyway. And I don't know of any widespread issue for Spotify when they allow people to download for offline listening. I can't explain it. Maybe it's in a setting somewhere and I've missed it, but here it is. So the songs that we're going to listen to are from one of my favorite artists now. Somebody close to me recommended and played one or two of these songs one night, and I thought, oh my God, this is amazing. And I immediately found it on Spotify, and I ordered their albums, which are not easy to get, by the way. You have to get it directly from Sleeping at Last, which is what the artist is called, Sleeping at Last. You have to get it from their website, and it takes weeks for them to ship. But their stuff is beautiful. If you get a chance to listen to it on Spotify or Tidal, do please give them a chance. The one I would recommend, the one I'm just addicted to for several weeks now, is their album called Atlas Space Deluxe. And it's just a number of songs that they create over the course of a year based upon a particular theme, and this theme happened to be the space theme. Look, they're fantastic. Go to their website, take a look at them, read a little bit about them, listen to some of their songs, and if you're not convinced, no problem. But if you are convinced, you can thank me later. So this is what I've got. This is my very first album that I created on Tidal. I have the same thing on Spotify. Where is Spotify? I have the same thing on Spotify, okay? I've got Sleeping at Last, and just to show that I am being fair, I have not downloaded this album. It says it's not downloaded. So this too is streaming. You want to get started? Shall we try? I don't want to spend too much time. It's been 10 minutes already almost. Let's just see how far we can go. Okay. Let's start with Sun. First song in this album. Why not? Question. Can you hear any sound leak? I mean, these are closed back headphones, the NDH20s. Can you hear any sound leak? Uh, with them on my head and speaking, it doesn't appear to me that there's a whole lot of sound isolation, but that doesn't really matter when the music is playing, because a lot of times, even open back headphones, when you have them up high volume, it's hard to hear what's going on outside. But can you, over the microphone, hear any sound leak? What can I tell you about these headphones while I'm listening? Because the idea is I listen and then I immediately compare with Spotify. I don't need to sit here. I don't think I need to sit here and just be very quiet for 4 minutes, 37 seconds this song plays. So I might as well get two things done at the same time here. There's one thing that I do find a little bit irritating about the NDH20s at this point, having had them on my head for about an hour and a half, is that the ear cups, they're circular. Ear pads are circular, and that's not human ears. We have oval shaped ears. And so what these things do is that the top and bottom of the inside of the ear pads touch the top and bottom of my earlobe and my ear. And it just gets irritating after an hour and a half, gotta be honest. Immediately when I put these things on the first time, it wasn't an issue. But having them on my head now for this long, it's getting a little irritating. But to describe to you how it really feels, let me put it this way. It's like somebody stands next to you and just points their finger next to your head without touching you. After a few seconds, a few moments, you feel like there's pressure on the side of your head, even though they're not even touching you. It's like your little brother or sister that kept telling you, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, and you could feel it. That's the type of feeling I'm telling you. Obviously, they're touching my ear. Physically, they are, in fact, touching my ear, but the type of irritation I feel is basically the same irritation as if your brother or sister were doing I'm touching you without actually touching you. Does that make sense? Other than that, the clamping force is fine. It could be a little bit lighter for me. My preference is slightly lighter. I'm not a fan of tight headphones because I tend to wear them for a long time. But it's okay. Nothing will ever be as bad as the One More triple drivers, which are awful with their clamping force, or the DT1770. But the DT1770s were bad for both their clamping force and because they sucked at a headphone. All around, terrible headphone. Okay, now that I've wasted your time, I'm going to increase the volume again on the 1 amp and give me a second here. Okay, so let's start this again. Here's what I want to do with this song. Oops. When the song begins, there's a soft piano that's playing. And it's very important that I point this out to you. Because the soft piano immediately then is replaced by vocal. A very high, I can't say high pitched, but it's a higher pitched male vocalist. And that's where the detail comes. Now, I'm listening to it obviously on the NDH20, which is neutral, as neutral can be, theoretically. If I was going to hear a difference, it would be the best way to tell that difference, in my opinion, would be at the beginning, very beginning, when the piano comes in and then immediately dovetails into the male vocalist. So that's what I'm going to listen for. Then I'm going to stop. I'm going to go directly to Spotify. Nope, I hear no difference. Oh, surprise, surprise. Let's be fair. Let's go to the next one. Let's go to what's another good one? Jupiter's good. Let's go to Jupiter. Skip ahead. We're going to Jupiter. Jupiter has this really haunting start to the music. There's a lot of micro detail in this song. It's a lot of layering of instruments and noises. And this string instrument that's kind of playing somewhere in the background. And then 33 seconds in, piano comes in. I have to be honest, it sounds great on Tidal. Very clear and crisp. Great depth to the song, great soundstage. But how much of that is the headphone versus Spotify or Tidal? I don't know. So I just listened to 1 minute of that on Tidal. Let's go to Spotify. Jupiter, here we go. So I'm sorry for the silence, but I was trying to concentrate and find if there's any difference, and maybe slight difference in the piano, approximately at 25 seconds. So let me just start at 20 seconds on Spotify, and then I'll go back 20 seconds on Tidal. Let me cue this up so that we're at the same spot. Can I cue this up? Will you let me cue this up? Yeah, you will. So 20 seconds on each. Now I'm just going to hit play. Yeah, it'll go. So 20 seconds on Tidal and then 20 seconds on Spotify. So let me listen on Spotify first. Here we go. From 20 seconds to, say, 50 seconds. Yes, I can tell a difference. Let me go back to 20 seconds, and I'm only going to listen for the first 10 seconds. So 20 seconds to 30 seconds. I'm going to go to Spotify first and do that. And then I'll go back to Tidal. And I think this will be of some relevance, so just bear with me, please, and I will explain it all. I know the silences must be heart-wrenching for you. Here we go. Okay. Yes, there is a difference. So Tidal's presentation of the song sounds wider, more spacious. I wouldn't say airy, but definitely has more depth to the song. And these are very amorphous concepts. I understand. I'm sorry. When you listen to this versus Tidal, this comparison that I've just now done, Spotify Spotify sounds a little more closed off and warmer sounding, as if the frequencies, you have the high, mid, and low, generally speaking, and somehow somebody took the frequency range, the spectrum, and then kind of compressed it a little bit so that the frequency range is a little bit narrower. Whereas on Tidal, it feels a little bit bigger, a little bit wider. How much different is it? Well, if you're going back and forth, I could tell the difference. How does that affect the enjoyability of the song? Well, to be honest, I think Tidal sound a little bit better. Just enjoying the song, comparing A and B between it and Spotify, if I had to choose, I would probably pick Tidal because it does in fact sound a little bit better. And especially with this type of song. What Sleeping at Last does and has done with this album is that it's very airy, it's majestic, it's awe-inspiring. It's supposed to give you the sensation of awe. And it does. But it did that with Spotify whenever I listened to it. Spotify doesn't degrade that awe-inspiring nature of the song. It's just that Tidal, when compared to Spotify, presents the song in a slightly more euphoric way. More open, more spacious. There's more room for the music to breathe. Using the same headphone, the same setup, everything. So there is a noticeable difference. Let's go to... Wait a second. Let's do this. Let's go to Michael Jackson. What's a good Michael Jackson song, you think? Michael Jackson? Which Michael Jackson song should we listen to? Yes, obviously, Michael Jackson. That's what I want. Billie Jean? No, Beat It. Let's do Beat It. Let me cue that up on Spotify as well. Single versions Beat It versus single version Beat It. Yeah, exactly the same one. All right, here we go on Tidal. Okay, I gotta say, the NDH 20s do a great job producing the song. So much soundstage and depth. Mostly depth, not so much soundstage, but a lot of depth in there. Beat it. Just beat it. Okay, 50 seconds. Let's go to Spotify and let's do the same thing. Just Beat it. Just beat it. I love this song. Okay, so the same thing happened. Spotify is a little bit more closed off than Tidal. There's more of the song available in Tidal. And what do I mean by that? There's a little bit more detail that comes out in Tidal, and it just feels more expansive. Let me put it to you this way. I use this example all the time. With Spotify, you're sitting in your house. You're in your living room. It's a standard sized living room, say, 15 feet by 20 feet. And you walk in, you sit down on your couch. It's got 3 walls enclosing you in. You got the roof, and then you have the open section that leads into the kitchen. Okay, you got that in your mind? Now you're playing Beat It off of some decent speakers. Doesn't matter which ones. Decent speakers. And it sounds good. Sounds real good. Compare that with being outside and standing outside in your backyard, and you've got trees lining, so you've got sound reflection, you've got speakers, same type of speakers, and you're playing the song. What's the difference? The difference is how the song is presented based upon the environment. When you're inside, it sounds closed off. There's a lot of reflection, and it's immediate reflection, meaning it's coming right back at you. Those are hard walls. Those angles are going to come directly back at you, and it's going to sound a little closed off. Some of the frequencies are going to cancel each other out. Some of them are going to amplify with each other, but you know what it feels like to listen to music in a closed room. When you go outside, you get a vastly different experience. If you've ever been to a concert and then listened to the artist's song after you got home, you know what that means. And when you're outside, yes, there are reflections all over the place. But the air carries a lot of that music at those frequencies, the sound, out. And you feel it. There's more air to the song. That's what I mean. There's more air to the song. There's more room for the song, the frequency, the sound waves to breathe and to just go before they hit something else and then bounce around. And when you think of it in those terms, and I know this is an imperfect analogy, and I apologize, but if we think of it in those terms, that's how you differentiate Tidal versus Spotify. The song sounds great no matter where you listen to it. It's a great song. It's recorded fine. It sounds great on your speakers. But it's standing outside sounds different from when you're standing inside. Which one do you prefer? Well, that depends on your personal preference. Which one do you want to prefer? Do you want that kind of closer, more intimate feeling? Or do you want something that's outside and it feels like you are in more of an outdoor setting type of feeling? Is the difference night and day? Well, based upon these 3 songs, no, it's not night and day. It's not. Tidal is not exponentially more pleasurable than Spotify. Okay? That's just not going to be the case. We are at 30 minutes. I'm not going to make you sit through this anymore. I'm happy to continue going back and forth and listening to other songs, and that's not an issue. If you have a recommendation of an album or a couple of songs, really, if you want me to listen to and do the comparison, let me know. I'll do that immediately within the next couple of days. If not, I'm going to do probably another video comparing some other types of songs. Maybe just go off my test playlist that I usually use. And then tell you if I hear any real difference, any more difference. Currently, if you were to ask me, is this worth a $10 upgrade to Tidal? If you're paying, say, $11 or $12 for Spotify, should you pay $20 for Tidal? I don't know. I mean, it sounds good. Tidal does sound a little better than Spotify, but is it worth that extra money? I don't know. How would you spend that extra $9 or $8? How would you spend it over the course of the month? I can't tell you. At least not now. Give me more time to think about this and ruminate and go back and forth, and now I'll give you my final conclusion. Once again, if you have a particular song or two for me to listen to and do this comparison, let me know. I'll do it. Otherwise, we'll upload another video in a couple of days. I hope you all have a wonderful Tuesday evening. Please do try to relax, enjoy yourselves, enjoy your music, and we will do another review and a video soon. Have a great night, everybody.